Hey, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a video, and if this one helps you out, a like genuinely goes a long way for us. Let's get into it. Most people think avoiding full price means spending hours cutting coupons, checking circular flyers, and chasing deals through a dozen different apps. And because that sounds like work, most people just pay whatever the price tag says and move on. Today, we are going through the strategies that actually work for paying less on almost everything you buy regularly, none of which require a coupon book, a Sunday newspaper, or more than a few minutes of your time. These are habits rather than tasks, and once they are built in, they run mostly on autopilot. The starting point is price tracking, and the best tool for this is something that has been on most people's phones for years without being used for this purpose. Camel tracks the price history of almost every product sold on Amazon going back years and shows you whether the current price is high, low, or average relative to what the product has historically sold for. Before buying anything on Amazon above $20 or $30, a 30-second check on Camel tells you whether you are buying at a good price or whether the item regularly drops to significantly less. Amazon prices fluctuate constantly based on algorithmic inputs, and what looks like a good price on one day may have been 20% cheaper 3 weeks ago and maybe again in another month. Price history tells you what you cannot see from the current listing alone. For general online shopping outside of Amazon, browser extensions like Honey and Capital One Shopping scan the internet for coupon codes and better prices automatically at the moment you are checking out. They run in the background and surface any available discount code or alternative listing when you are on a checkout page. You do nothing beyond having the extension installed, and they do the checking for you. Honey in particular also has a feature called Drop List where you can add items you want to buy and it will notify you when the price drops to your target. You set it once and forget it until the notification arrives. Cashback apps and browser extensions add another layer on top of price comparison. Rakuten, formerly called Ebates, gives you a percentage of your purchase back as cash on purchases made through their portal at hundreds of major retailers. Percentages vary from 1 to 15% depending on the retailer and the current promotion. Over the course of a year, for a household that shops online regularly, the accumulated cashback is meaningful. The key is making it habitual rather than occasional. Check Rakuten before going to a retailer's website rather than going to the retailer directly and checking Rakuten as an afterthought. Price matching is one of the most underused policies in retail, and it costs nothing to use beyond the 30 seconds it takes to ask. Most major retailers, including Target, Best Buy, Walmart, Home Depot, and many others, have explicit price matching policies that allow you to present a lower price from a competitor and have the store match it. The policy is usually printed somewhere on the retailer's website and is available both in-store and sometimes online. A quick search for the item you want at several competitors before purchasing, followed by showing the cheaper price at the register or in the online chat, frequently results in an immediate price reduction with no couponing or negotiation required. The retailer's own policy does the work. The clearance cycle is another strategy that requires almost no effort once you understand how it works. Most retailers clear seasonal merchandise on a predictable schedule. Clothing goes on sale at the end of each season and continues marking down until it is gone. Holiday items get dramatically reduced immediately after the relevant holiday, and electronics and appliances are discounted most aggressively when new models arrive. If you are willing to buy winter clothing in January, holiday decorations on the 26th of December, or a refrigerator model that has been superseded by a new version, the discount available is consistently between 30 and 70% off the original price. The item is functionally identical to what was on the shelf 2 weeks earlier. The price is not. Open box and refurbished products are the clearance equivalent for electronics and appliances. Major retailers including Best Buy have dedicated open box sections, both in-store and on their website, where returned items that have been inspected and restored to full working condition are sold at significant discounts from retail. The manufacturer's warranty situation varies by product, but many open box items carry the original warranty or a retailer warranty. A laptop returned by a customer who changed their mind, inspected, repackaged, and sold as open box at 20 to 30% below retail is the same laptop as the sealed box next to it at full price. The distinction is packaging, not function. Buying last year's model is a specific application of the same principle that applies particularly well to technology. When a new phone, laptop, camera, or television model is released, the previous version drops in price, sometimes dramatically, despite being functionally excellent for the vast majority of use cases. The new model typically offers incremental improvements that matter to a specific subset of users and are irrelevant to most. Buying a television that was the current flagship model 6 months ago, at 30 to 40% less than a new equivalent tier model, is one of the clearest demonstrations of how price and quality diverge in consumer electronics. Setting price alerts before you need something is the habit that ties all of this together. For any significant purchase you know you will need to make in the coming weeks or months, a new appliance, a specific piece of clothing, a tool, a piece of furniture, setting a price alert using Google Shopping, Camel, or a similar tool before you need it urgently means you are alerted when the price drops to a level you consider good, rather than making the purchase under time pressure at whatever the current price happens to be. Urgency is one of the most reliable drivers of overpaying. Removing urgency from purchases wherever possible by planning ahead gives you the flexibility to wait for better pricing without consequence. Negotiating is appropriate in more retail contexts than most people realize. Car purchases are the most widely understood example, but the same principle applies to furniture, electronics at independent retailers, mattresses, gym memberships, cable and internet contracts, and insurance premiums. The price presented is frequently the opening position rather than the final one, and the ask does not require confrontation. A calm, matter-of-fact, "Is there any flexibility on the price?" or "I was hoping to spend closer to X, is there anything you can do?" is the entire negotiation. The worst outcome is no. The best outcome is a reduction you would otherwise never have received. Loyalty programs that actually pay off, not all do, are worth identifying at the stores you shop most frequently. The meaningful ones are those that accumulate points at a rate where a household reaches redemption thresholds regularly, that do not expire points rapidly, and that offer redemptions worth more than trivial discounts. Pharmacies and grocery stores with fuel reward programs that reduce the per-gallon cost of gas can be particularly valuable for households with significant weekly driving. The test for any loyalty program is simple. Calculate what the loyalty benefit actually returns as a percentage of spending and compare it to the time investment of participating. If the return is meaningful and the friction is low, participate. If the program requires significant effort to manage for minimal return, the time cost exceeds the financial benefit. The habit that connects all of these strategies is what might be called a 24-hour rule for any unplanned purchase above a threshold you set: $30, $50, whatever feels right for your household. When you feel the impulse to buy something that was not on your list, wait 24 hours. During that window, check the price history, look for better prices elsewhere, check if a cashback opportunity exists, and ask yourself honestly whether you need it now or whether waiting another week would allow the price to come down. A significant percentage of impulse purchases either lose their appeal entirely during this window or can be made at a better price by doing 30 seconds of checking. That felt like too much frictions in the moment of impulse. A household that builds these habits, price tracking, cashback extensions, price matching, clearance timing, open box consideration, price alerts, and the 24-hour rule, does not pay full price on most significant purchases. The savings are not dramatic on any individual transaction. They compound across hundreds of transactions per year into a number that is significant. Estimates vary based on spending patterns, but households that shop deliberately with these habits in place consistently spend 10 to 20% less on the same goods compared to their previous full-price shopping behavior. On non-grocery spending alone, that represents hundreds to over $1,000 per year for most households. Drop a comment with which strategy you are going to try first. We read every single one. And if you want us to do a full video on the best browser extensions and apps for saving money specifically, let us know below. Hit the like button if this helped, subscribe and tap the bell if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.